Hi friends, welcome to this video. This is 30 minutes core value, a free masterclass on Airbnb service accommodation. I've got my notes here so I don't lose my train of thoughts, and I will just go straight into it, and I'll give you as much value as possible in this free masterclass. We'll go through like different stages. So phase one will be like a phase of foundations and fundamentals. In this phase, we want to talk about your mindset. You know, why do you want to do this Airbnb service accommodation business model? You know, there are many reasons why people want to start this. It's either maybe to supplement your income, got a 9 to 5, and you just are always working around the clock, you're working long hours, but you want something which could help you and obviously supplement and give you an additional income, especially in this cost of living crisis where everything is expensive, very hard, and you want to just like have that extra money to be able to help out your family, which is great. So obviously when it comes to mindset, you need to have the right frame of mindset. You need to understand why you want to do this. What's your purpose? What drives you? What's your vision? What's your mission in life? You know, why do you want to actually be in this business, and why do you want to succeed? So the first homework which I want you to do now is write down your goals, write down your property goals. Okay, to say today is this day, and by X amount of date, etc., I want to have one property, I want to have 2 properties, etc. So write that goal down, write today's date, and write your goal, what you want to achieve in the property business. So after that, we'll go into the ways you can acquire property. So there's various ways you can acquire properties. There's 3 methods which I actually teach on how you can acquire properties. All these 3 methods are the methods which I have done. So it's either number 1, by purchasing a property, which is where you go and buy a property from the open market, or it could be from direct to the seller. So you've bought the property is in your name, it's in your business name, you own the property. Another way you can get a property is using the arbitrage method, which is rent to rent. So you go to your landlord and you get a property from a landlord. So with that landlord, you've got an agreement, you can rent out the property on Airbnb, service accommodation, etc. You've got a written contract. You know, the landlord understands what you're going to be doing with this with their permission. You don't do this method if you don't have permission from the landlord to do this. Otherwise, you're doing an illegal operation. That's not allowed. The third way you can get a property is using the co-hosting method, also known as the management method. So this is where you go on Airbnb booking.com and you look for people who are struggling. So you identify, like using the SWOT analysis, you identify their strengths, their weaknesses, the opportunities and threats, you know. So you want to like go into them, like obviously giving them value, what you can actually bring in because of their weaknesses and the threats of the market, etc. You can bring in A, B, C, D. So you need to look for those people. Maybe they're not, like, they haven't dressed up the property correct, so that's why they're not getting enough bookings. Or maybe they haven't taken professional pictures, that's why they're not getting enough booking. Maybe they haven't priced the properties up, that's why they're not getting enough bookings. So you, as an expert or someone who's gone through my free learnings, my course, my education, you can go to them and say, look, I can add value to you by doing A, B, C, D. But by me adding this value to you, I'll be co-hosting with you, and I'll be taking a certain percentage of that revenue because I can bring in A, B, C, D skills to you, and I'll do that. So with the percentage revenue, when you're co-hosting, you can take about from 10 to 30%, just depends on the agreement which you've got with the property owner. So that's 3 methods you can do to get properties. So we spoke about purchase, we spoke about arbitrage, we spoke about co-hosting. So let's say, yes, you've got a property. Hooray, you've got a property. Let's go straight into what you do next once you've got a property. So the next things after you've got a property is go straight into the business. So we want to do this as a business, not as a side hustle. So even if you're working a 9 to 5, you want this to be supplementing your income. You want to have this like the proper registrations. So you want to register this as a business. You want to have the correct company and you want to put the correct C code, all these things, you can get an accountant or someone who's done this before to open an account for you. I think last time I checked, it was £50 to get someone to help you to open a company, or £12 if you want to do it yourself. So set this up as a business from day one, so you actually do this the proper ways. You don't want to be mixing your personal life into the business life. You know, you want this to be a separate entity, a business. You know, there are reasons why I'm saying this. So after setting this up as a limited company, you want to get the proper insurances and licenses in place. So if you've set it up as a business, you want to get the indemnity insurance, you want to get the public liability insurance on the company. Also, if you're running this in Scotland, you need a license. If you're running it in Scotland, you need a license. So you want to get your licenses in place. After setting up the licenses and the insurances in place, you want to move on and set up your business bank account. So with the business bank account, you can go to any bank which accepts your company. I mean, there's a lot of business accounts there. For our company, we've got 2 accounts. We've got an account where we use for income, for all the bookings, money coming in. That's the income account. And we've got another one called the outgoings account. So this is for expenses. This is where we pay the cleaners, where the mortgages, everything, all the expenses, rent to landlords come out. This is the expense. So you could set up as many accounts as you want. If you want 1 account or 2 accounts, 3 accounts, that's entirely up to you and how you want to set up everything, with obviously your accountant's help. So I would involve the accountants in here. They'll help you out to say, this is the easiest way, this is the easiest structure. So you want to set up a business bank account. So after you've done that, want to move into a phase which I call like phase 2, market analysis and deal finding. So on the market analysis, you want to like have a specific location which you want to operate in. So let's say you live in a big city like Manchester, for example, and if you live in Manchester, I'll say yes, there are Airbnbs in Manchester, there are people doing well in Manchester, so you can actually start in that city. So if you live in Manchester, you don't have to be getting Airbnbs in London or in Dubai, you know, because everyone else is doing that, you know. No, you can actually start the whole Airbnb service accommodation business where you currently live. So I've used Manchester as an example. I didn't say everyone go to Manchester and start having Airbnbs there. So once you've nailed down your location, you want to go into the guest profile. So there is like 3 or 4 types of guest profiles, whether you want to attract holiday makers, so people coming into that specific place for holiday, or people coming into that specific city for work. So these are like contractors. Maybe like you want to attract like emergency people coming who need emergency housing. So there's just different ways, different guests you can attract. You know, maybe it's vulnerable, short-term guests, etc. You know, so you could actually set up your business to attract those kind of people. So nail down your location and nail down your guest profile. So another simple way to find out if this location is good, by going on the platforms like Airbnb, Booking.com, and act as if you're a guest to see if these areas which you're in, are they actually getting bookings? Are they actually getting people coming to visit them? Gone are the days where everyone thought like Airbnb is only for holiday people are going on holiday. No, companies actually use Airbnb, Booking.com to book for their people when they're going to stay in those companies. You know, you also get like third-party companies which companies use to book, and those third-party companies, they also search on Airbnb and Booking.com if they want to book for companies. So yeah, it's not only for holiday people, so it's for people coming to work as well, businessmen, businesswomen, so they can use these platforms to book as well. So yes, go on Airbnb, go on Booking.com, and these platforms will help you get this information as well. Another thing is, maybe if you've thought about getting into this by buying or by renting it out. So there are like websites which can give you properties, whether you're buying them or you're renting them out. So websites like Rightmove, it's a big UK search engine for all properties. So whether you want to buy a property, you can go on Rightmove. Whether you want to rent a property out, you can go on Rightmove. You can go on another platform like Zoopla. You can go on a platform like On the Market. So all these platforms, they do show both, whether it's buying or renting. You can use this platform to do your research in your particular particular area which you're interested in. So after that, yeah, we spoke about phase 2. It's all about market analysis and deal analysis. So we are running this as a business, not as a side hustle. Remember what I said from the beginning. Business is always based on numbers, so the numbers which you've collected, it could be like data from past performance, which also like gives an indication of future performance. So you want to like see based on like your outgoings which you've calculated. You need to know like your outgoings, your fixed outgoings, so you can actually see your income. Okay, how much should I charge per nightly rate? All these kind of things, you need to work it out. And sometimes these things are also dependent on the market, on the location, etc. So you can't say, oh yeah, I'm going to charge £200 for my property, £200 per night for my property because I want to get more profit. No, it doesn't work like that. What are the competitors charging in that particular area? What's the average daily nightly rate in that particular area? So if it's maybe like the average nightly rate in that particular area for a 2-3 bed property is 120 a night, and you want to charge £200, I'm sorry, my friend, you're not going to get a booking. So you need to actually research on that, like to say, okay, what should be my ADR, average daily rate, all these things. You need to actually put the numbers down on a piece of paper or on Excel, whichever tool you're comfortable using. So after nailing the numbers, you need to know your break-even point to say, if I'm getting X 40% at my break even, I want to do this deal or no. You need to know when to walk away or when to do this deal. I mean, I've got these deal analysis spreadsheets from whether you're buying or whether you're doing it from arbitrage way or whether you're doing it from co-hosting. I've got these spreadsheets in my school community, so you can click on the link below and join the school community. So after the numbers, we move on to phase 3. Phase 3 is the most interesting part because phase 3 speaks about the Airbnb service accommodation property setup. This is what everyone enjoys. So in my business, my wife actually does the whole property setup. So she'll get a property when it's like a blank canvas, just with white walls, and she'll just like start designing from A to Z, like to say this property is going to look like before she even does anything or she even buys anything. So she designs everything, every corner where the flowers are going to go, and this is on like a vision board or mood board as they call it. So this is like just taking pictures from Pinterest, different ideas, and they put them up. This is before you go and buy things, because if you go and start buying things without a plan, you end up like buying a black sofa, like everything is not gonna like color coordinate, it's not gonna match. So before you buy this, just make sure you've got your interior design hat on. You need to know what types of guests are coming into the property, what do they like, all these things. Like we can also help with that. Like if you click on the link below and I can connect you with my wife who will give you like interior design tips, etc. Obviously after like interior design, you need to know where to buy the furniture. So for these types of business, you don't want to be buying expensive furniture in these expensive furniture shops. You want to go into like furniture shops which are targeting businesses, which are selling to businesses. And also another tip here, my friends, don't sleep on Facebook Marketplace, because you can get good quality stuff on Facebook Marketplace. So it does, everything you buy for your business doesn't necessarily mean it has to be brand new. So some of the things could be like second hand, and second hand is good. It's not like, oh, you've got a bad product because it's second hand. No, it can be a good product, but it could be a second hand product. So yeah, don't always buy everything brand new, but you want to be buying durable furniture which is going to last a long time, especially beds, mattresses, and sofas. I'll say those 3 things, you don't want to go cheap on them. You want to buy something strong, something durable, something which will last for 5 years. I mean, in some of our properties, we still have the same beds which we bought 5 years ago, and they're still going strong and good because we bought expensive, durable products which are going to last for a decade and years to come. So yes, if you like me and you have no clue about assembling furniture, or you're not gifted on your hands like that, you can hire professionals to actually come in and set up the property for you, like do all the furniture assembly and do all the good stuff for you. So I actually hire people. So we find these people from Facebook Marketplace, TaskRabbit, or Gumtree. So those people who come and they'll do everything for us, and we don't have to do anything. We've given them the vision, the steps to follow, or how we want the property to look like. So I mean, this saves you time while they're assembling the property. You could be now thinking of deal number 2, or you could be like setting up the systems and processes in the business doing the next step. But you're not just there behind them folding your hands as they assemble this. No, you are actually now doing something in the business, because what they're doing is not your skill set, So, but if you're a gifted man or a gifted woman who can paint, who can do these things, by all means, do this yourself, especially if you're starting off with one property, because in the long run, it will save you money. I mean, to set up a property could cost you about £600-700, But if you can do this yourself, like if you can do this, you could save a bit of money on it as well. So yes, you want to be saving money. But on that, I've said, like, you want to get people or professionals to help you. So you don't want to get like other dodgy people to come and help you, because you end up paying what? Twice. Pay cheap, pay twice. That's the rule of life. On photography, on pictures, you don't want to get a cowboy. You want to get a professional photographer, someone who's taken property pictures before. Because before someone books, they only know the pictures. The pictures are what sells your property. You've heard the saying, picture paints 1,000 or 1,000,000 words, something like that. So you want the pictures to sell the property. You want the pictures to actually give the true image, true description of the property. So if you've set up your property to high standards, the pictures will tell that, so someone will be attracted to book your property. So you want to make sure you've got a professional photographer who can do this for you. After the pictures, you've got everything. Before you actually click on and your property goes live, you want to do a trial run. You get your cleaners to do a trial run so that you know where everything is, and they've cleaned the place as well, and you can see their standards of cleaning. So moving on to phase 4. So phase 4, it's all about listing the property and pressing green for it to go live on the OTA platforms. So OTAs are your online travel agents. So these are the likes of Airbnb, the likes of Booking.com, which are the big names, which Airbnb, Booking.com are the biggest names in the industry. So even if you list your property in those 2 platforms, you will get bookings, as long as you've already put like proper descriptions, you've added all the features, all the amenities in the property. I mean, guys, listen, it's very simple. Follow everything which they're asking you to do, and you need to fill out all the boxes about your property, and your listing is fully optimized. You've got pictures, you've got the descriptions, everything filled out there. I've seen some properties where, like, the owners, they're so lazy, they don't even put like a description. They'll be like, oh, welcome to my house, just like that. I mean, tell people, because don't forget, you've got your marketing hat on. You're now wearing your marketing hat. You want to market this property to someone for them to book your property. So you want to give them as much information as possible for them to pull the trigger and press book on your property. So after that, like after listing on Airbnb and Booking.com, you want to integrate something which we call a channel manager. So a channel manager will help you avoid getting double bookings. So if someone books on Airbnb, a channel manager will automatically block the calendar on Booking.com for those specific dates, so someone doesn't book. So you don't have to manually go and change everything on the channel manager. The channel manager automatically does this for you. So you want this. But then another tool, in addition of a channel manager, another tool which I always emphasize everyone to get, and I will tell a story about this tool after this. So it's called a dynamic pricing tool. So for a dynamic pricing tool, we use Wheelhouse, and Wheelhouse has been good. There are other tools there, Price Labs, etc., many other tools there, but we use Wheelhouse, and I'll always tell you, you need to get a dynamic pricing tool. I'll give you an example. Back in 2021, October 2021, in Glasgow, there was an event called COP26, and with this COP26 event, like, global leaders were coming here to talk about climate change, discussions, all these things. But I don't watch the news, so I didn't know there was this event happening. Because we had a dynamic pricing tool, we saw our property being booked for £1,000 per night. We're shocked. £1,000 per night, what's going on? And we saw all the property prices for that 2 weeks, like they were going up because there was a lot of supply. I mean, there was a lot of demand in Glasgow. So people were putting their property prices up. Because we are using a dynamic pricing tool, it automatically increased our prices as well. So we were booked for £1,000 per night. Can you believe it? I don't believe it. But if we didn't have a dynamic pricing tool, we're gonna miss out on those kind of bookings. So it's very important. It doesn't cost much to have these plugins, to have these tools. I think it's about $20 per property per month, you know. So you need that. So phase 5, guys, is operations. So here, you don't want to create another job because you're already working a 9 to 5. Maybe you're taking care of your family. You've got other things which are taking your time. So you don't want to create another job. You want your operations to have systems in place. You want your operations to be automated. You want your operations to have all the full processes working and all full processes documented, you know. And an example of this, which I call the SAP method, an example of this is having full automations from when a guest books to when a guest checks out. So an example is when a guest books, you can send automated messages to say, oh, thank you for booking. The next steps are, can you pay deposit? Can you fill out this form? You know, can you send your ID here? Then after that, if depending on if the guest has done that or if the guest hasn't done that, you send another message to say, or a friendly reminder to say, oh, you haven't done this ABC, may you please do that before we send in check-in details. All these things are fully automated. There is no human intervention. There's no human going to be sending manual messages or to say, oh, thank you for booking. Up until the guest checks out, the cleaner goes in, and like if there's a breakages or damages, the cleaner will notify you, or if there's things which the maintenance team need to come in, those you've got processes, you've got systems in place. You can let the cleaners tell the maintenance guys, your handyman or handywoman, to say, oh, there's the light bulb is finished here, or all these kind of things, and you are just sitting at the back watching all these automations happen in front of your eyes. You're not involved. You just, everything is, you set it up from day one and you watch it run like a well-oiled machine. So you need a SAP in your system. So after having all these SAPs in place, phase 6 is scaling. So when it comes to scaling up, you've got your first property, you've gone through all the phases 1 to 5, which I've taught in this masterclass. And after that, you want to like repeat the whole process as well. Whether you started by buying the property or you started by the arbitrage method or the co-hosting method, you want to repeat the phases, phase 2, 3, 4, 5, and scale up. Every property you get, you repeat the same thing. But obviously, as you're repeating it, you want to be adding efficiencies. You want to be doing things, streamlining and doing it properly. By doing this, maybe you can be documenting everything which you're doing so you can actually build a team or have a team. And it's very important when you get to a certain number of properties, get a virtual assistant. So a virtual assistant can be someone in the Philippines, India, where you pay $4 an hour and they're helping you with the admin work. So you just focus on growing the business and then managing and doing the little things in the business. So you just focus on growing the business, not working in the business, but working above the business. So like working on the business, not in the business. Those are like these 6 phases which I wanted to discuss with you guys, talk to you guys about on how to actually grow and start your Airbnb business to 10K a month profit. So I know knowledge is power, but execution trumps knowledge. So it's what you do from watching this video which matters. So all these things which I've said don't matter until you take them on, apply them, take action. So if you are interested in working with me on a one-to-one basis, you know, you can book a call with me. The link is below. You can book a free consultation call with me. Before you go, I actually want you to listen to one of my students in the group who's actually had success in the Airbnb business. So you joined the 10-day Airbnb crash course.
That's correct.
At the end of last year. So what is your experience with the 10-day Airbnb crash course?
That was a brilliant course, easily accessible. I could do it from home at my own pace. It was a 10-day course, And I found that dedication, that those timelines of saying 10 days consecutive to be quite helpful because I knew I had something that I needed to do on each day. Some of them I managed to do in two modules in a day. So I finished about 8 days earlier. It was quite informative. It is good to see things on YouTube and that. However, when it is information from somebody who has experience from completing and doing the actual work, it does make no sense when it's put in the modules that you have in your course. It was very informative, helpful, and I recommend it to others.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Thank you. Then after the 10-day Airbnb crash course, then you decided you wanted to do the one-to-one consultation. And we did the one-to-one consultation. What was your experience with the one-to-one consultation?
I think the one-to-one sessions are special because they're those minute and powerful pointers that you need from someone you want to reach out. Big questions that I'll ask you on WhatsApp when I'm stuck with anything, you're there quickly to respond, and it's been very helpful. Simple questions around they're simple now because you've told me the answer.
So you know how to do them.
But before that, I was like, how do I do this booking that these percentages that they're asking for? How do we go about it? How do I delete photos and things like that? And many more that are quite intrinsic in the industry. You've been able to answer me and to respond in a very timely manner and person-centered. Yourself remembering about my family, remembering about the setup of the property. It is quite handy to have somebody who has got that insight to hold your hands when you are embarking on this journey.
Okay, now awesome. Then can you share your results? So when we did the one-to-one consultation, your property was up in the market on Airbnb, Booking.com, and all these other platforms. What result did you get within 24 hours?
I had a booking of 5 nights from America.
Oh, that's
First night, which was awesome. Also feeling it was really great result. Quite excited about it, and lots of inquiries. Lots of inquiries are coming in from the listings that on Airbnb and that. So yeah, looking forward to the journey.
That's good. Then the last question, if someone is on the fence, wants to work with me, what should be your recommendation to them?
Definitely. I would recommend someone to definitely do the training and book the consultation with Tabo. It is well worth it. You'll get your money back within 24 hours. There are some things that you need someone who has the knowledge, in-depth knowledge about the Airbnb setting up and the property business and the options that you provide, opening the opportunities around buying further properties, buying more properties and pros and cons, and for all that knowledge, that wealth of knowledge, the books that you read and you part with that knowledge without any selfishness and just provide that knowledge at first hand. It is worth it. I would recommend people to come to Tabo.
So yes, you've listened to that video from my student. So if you're still interested in booking a course, so you can click on the link below and book a one-to-one consultation call with me. It's free of charge. We'll sit there, map out your strategy, where you want to go with this Airbnb business. So click on the link below and book it. I'll see you on the inside. Cheers. Bye for now.